This is Hanshow new 5.16 display for your Tesla Model Y and 3. This is the latest release for the instrument cluster. And what comes in this package is a pry tool. This is really all you need. Wiring harness to connect to your AMD or your Intel processor. So you don't have to worry about which one you have, but make sure when ordering, you select the right option. There's a protective film to protect the display. Keep that on until your installation is done. And this is a plug and play. It is also QC, quality check. And it sits on top of your steering wheel, just like the one we have here. So this one was the original display from Hanshow, and it shows you basically all the information you need: how fast you're going, your autopilot, full self-driving distance, the range you have, as well as your temperature outside and your battery percentage, which doors are still open, and so forth. So very simple design. This is also a simple design, but you can see size comparison, almost twice the size. It does not block any airflow, so that's one good thing about these type of display that sits on top of your steering wheel. It's not destructive, and you're really just replacing this top cover with the display. This is integrated with this cover replacement. It's very easy to install. I would say less than 1 hour at most. You just pop these two pins on each side up using the pry tool. But before you do that, you want to pull the steering wheel towards yourself by going into control and controlling your steering wheel. So once you're in there, to control your steering wheel, use the scroll wheel. Scroll it down and pull it towards yourself by pushing to the left. So scroll down, push to the left. And once you have it fully extended out, now you can easily pop these two clips open on each side. Place this covering here and put it over to the Hanshow display, just like how we have it here. So this is actually OEM. This whole piece cover here is the Hanshow, just as you see with the new display. So just like that. So it just sits on just like that. One wire, one connection. You run it across the dash, under this dash. So very easy to do. You just pop this open with the pry tool. But before you do that, you just need to pop these two covers out on each, one cover on each side, but two covers. So one on the driver's side, one on the passenger side. And this is also easy to pop open too. So you want to have your door fully open. Place the pry tool facing in like this, and it comes off just like that. Very easy. The first time you do it, it might be a little tight, but just wiggle yourself in there. As you can see, there's 1 tab, 2, 3 tap. So 3 taps in total. You won't break it as long as you put the pry tool where it's placed and then just pop it open. And from the passenger side, same process. Pry from the bottom and then place this on your dash. And then now this one, which just goes right up. You see that? It's already popping up. And then just do that along the whole thing. If you have a phone mount, make sure that's out the way. So now, from the right side, place your pry tool underneath. It pops right open. And then place this to the side, outside your vehicle. Okay, so the older Model 3 and Y might have a torque screw here instead of a clip. If you have a torque screw there, don't worry. So just get a T20 torque bit. Whether you have that or not, You can get one for a few dollars on Amazon or at your local hardware store. So this is the older Model 3. So we'll go ahead and take these Torx screws off and place this screw in your cup holder. Do the same for the right side. So the newer Model 3 and Y will not have this Torx screw. It will have a clip which you can just pop open with the pry tool. Put that in your cup holder. So this looks to be the same plug as this mini display. So to take this display off is the same way you take off the OEM cover. You want to use a pry tool. So you shove it in right there and in front of the column on both sides. That is where the clip is located at. So what you want to do first is hold the cover from the back after you have this flap down. Hold this up slightly so that gives you a little opening for you to push in this pry tool. And once you have it in there, and I happen to have a smaller pry tool, but it's not needed. Then I shove in the big pry tool and it pops open. So don't panic when you hear that sound. It's just a plastic clip becoming loose. All right, now do the same for the other side. Okay, so once you have all the clips pop open, so there's a little flap on the back there that you need to fold in. And once you have that out, you can pull this up. So the trick is it has to be a little vertical like this because there's a groove here that sits behind your steering wheel and you don't want that to get stuck. So there's 4 clips. You just need to squeeze that out and you can do that with your fingers. And then there's another clip right here. So just be careful with this so you don't actually break any clips. There's also one on each corner. And this one is a little tricky. You just pry it open like a can or like a soda pop, like that. And it comes off, okay? So that's the old display. Grabbing the new display, the 5.16. So now just replace that cover in reverse order. So you just put that cover back on. So once you have all the 4 taps in, you can pull over on the edge there, okay? Do the same for the other side. All right, perfect. So now, make sure this wire here is held on by your index finger while you place this back onto the steering wheel. Like that. And wiggle itself in. And then fold the flaps on the back down. You can go ahead and press it down starting from the steering wheel side, or you can hammer it down a little bit like this. And then from the back side, just squeeze it together. Make sure your wires is clear. Okay, now plug in the wires. And then now just tuck everything back, and you can go ahead and place your cover back with that Torx screw or the clip, depending on which car you have. Okay, so from this side, very simple. You take out 4 of the clips, drop this panel down, So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 clips that you use the pry tool that came with the kit. You just take those off. Once this drop down, unplug this, and this wire is from the actual display itself. So you want to tuck this in. In order to tuck this through this side, you take out this pin here, or you can start from the other side because this is too bulky. So you will have to take this pin off, pull this out a little bit, and then you'll be able to tuck in. And then the computer that you plug in is just underneath there. Once you're done, go ahead and place your dash back on. And now put the side cover back on. Okay, display is installed, so that took less than 30 minutes. Taking off the protective film, so I will start it up for the first time. So that's the animation every time it starts. So that's the Tesla Roadster. Okay, so I will position this camera where my head is. So this is basically where my head is positioned, what I'm seeing from this height. You can see now with this display, you actually can see the bottom versus the original mini display, and you have more real estate on top. So you have your temperature, you have your time, you have your range, you have your drive mode, how fast you're going, which doors are open, and also your percentage. You also have in the bottom there the distance for your autopilot or full self-driving. And you also have another user interface. You can change this too. So for example, if you want to change the user interface or any of the setting, go ahead and push right on the scroll wheel, on the right scroll wheel. Hold it for 3 seconds. It will go to the setting menu. Let me zoom in for you. So this setting menu allows you to customize the temperature from Celsius to Fahrenheit, time zone. You want it auto, so auto dark or bright. So daytime or nighttime, I always like it in dark mode. Tire pressure you can get in bar or PSI. This is just a setting. I leave it on 2 for the software to work with the Plaid interface. So for the mileage, you can do kilometers or miles. English, you can change it to English or other language as you please. Format, you have 24 or 12. User interface, you have 2. So we'll switch it to 1 so you see it. And then the Plaid animation when you're accelerating. All right, now let's exit. So this is actual user interface 1. This is what it defaults to, where my head is facing, but I'm zooming in, so let me zoom back out. So this would be my normal driving position. And you can see there, everything is visible. You have your drive mode now on top. And how fast you're going on the right, which door. So let's go ahead and go to the other user interface. It just looks more colorful and modern, so we'll keep it that for now. And then we'll go for a test drive. Okay, so I am about to take a drive with this new Hansshow 5.16 display for your Tesla Model 3 and Y. As you can see there, this camera lens is perfectly aligned with where my eyes are at right now, so I can see the full display. So they likely move this back a little bit, and it's also sitting a little higher, about 2/3 higher, I would say, than the original display. you now can see the bottom, the percentage of your battery, your range, your autopilot full source driving distance. In the center, you see your driving speed. It also has the capability to put on the speed limit, so 25 miles per hour. Your tire pressure for all 4 tires on the left. Very great feature to have right there, because efficiency comes with correct tire pressure in EVs. Very critical. You have your time on the top left. You have your park HUD on the top. Your regen bar on the top, just like the Tesla OEM display or the main display. It has that bar on the top to show if you're creating energy or you're using energy. Then you have your temperature outside, 64 degrees Fahrenheit. And of course you can change those metrics to Celsius, or the time to 24 hours. Even the range, you can change that to kilometers. So how you do that is you just go on your steering wheel, hold your right scroll wheel to the right, and it goes to the setting mode. And in the setting mode, you can adjust the temperature, Fahrenheit, Celsius, time zone. Dark mode, you can do auto, so it turns on daytime mode automatically, or you can just have it daytime mode all the time. I like it in dark mode. Your tire pressure, you can have it in bar or PSI. Your CAN, this is your setting based on your software, so default to 2. Miles, you can keep it miles per hour or kilometers per hour. English, or you can change language. Format, you can change this to 24-hour. And user interface, let me show you the user interface 1. The plat mode, that's just a visualization. There's no plat mode in Model 3 or Y. And then this is the other user interface. So slightly different, more plain, but you want to spice up the display, add some color. Again, hold on the square wheel, go back to setting. And I do like the user interface too, so I'll switch back to that. Now let's go for a drive and see how this looks like while we're driving. Okay, so we'll be testing out the animation for this new Hansshow 5.16-inch display. So I do have to get it down to 0. It does start every time after it hits 0. All right, so animation should start now. And it lasts about 5 seconds or so. So 60. So roughly about 5 seconds, the animation will start. And you can turn off the animation if you don't like it, but I think it's pretty neat. It still shows how fast you're going. Identical of that what you see in the plat of the Model S and X. Okay, so in the residential area now, and you can see there the actual speed is accurate with the Tesla display. It shows your regen, your power, temperature, your tire pressure, your speed, the actual speed limit, which drive you're in, whether you're on autopilot or not, and your distance on your autopilot, your battery percentage, range. Very neat.